If you use AI to write your YouTube scripts and it just turns out to be trash all the time, this video is for you. Should you use AI when you write the script for your YouTube videos? Yes, absolutely, but there are a few very important rules that you simply cannot skip over. Because if you do, your videos start sounding generic and you start sounding like AI slop, and very quickly you lose the authenticity, one of the few currencies a content creator has in this age of AI. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use AI to help you script your videos step by step without giving up your own voice in the process and without turning yourself into one more guy on the internet who sounds exactly like every other guy using the same prompt. My name is Jem. I'm a YouTube talent manager, producer, and entrepreneur with 20 years of business experience. Over the years, I've managed 25 major YouTubers and worked with hundreds of brands, which gave me a deep understanding of how the creator business really works. And on this channel, I'm here to share that with you. So let's dive into it. AI is a fantastic accelerator. I mean, it can save you time, help you organize your thoughts, help you research. I mean, I myself use it quite often. I'm not anti-AI at all, quite the opposite. But there is a massive difference between using AI as a tool inside your creative process and outsourcing your actual voice to it. And a lot of creators don't realize where that line is until their content starts feeling a bit off and, sounding stiff. So what I want to do in this video is first define the problem properly, then show you the bad way most people do this, and then I'll give you a practical methodology that makes AI useful without letting it flatten your personality. Let's start with something very basic. A lot of YouTube channels rely on scripts when they shoot videos. In many cases, these scripts are read from a prompter. That is completely normal. There are many reasons for that too. You may be a talking head channel like this one, where speaking directly to camera is the format. In that case, scripting is not weird at all. It's actually very natural. English may be your second language or even your third language, and you may not be fully comfortable improvising your way through a 10, 15, 20-minute explanation on camera. You may also be simply drifting away from the main point too often. I mean, a lot of smart people do this. They know a subject deeply, but once the camera starts rolling, they start going sideways, opening brackets inside brackets, and suddenly the video is not about the thing anymore, you know what I mean? Or you may simply want to engineer your video more carefully. You may want stronger hooks, better structure, more intentional pacing, or smoother transactions, all in the name of achieving better viewer retention. But then a new problem appears. Scripting takes time. First, you come up with the video idea. Then you organize your thoughts. Then you develop an actual outline. And then you actually write the script. Then you realize that writing a script is not just hard, it also is a very slow process. A normal speaking pace for this kind of video is roughly 150 words per minute. So if your video is 15 minutes long, you're already looking at around 2,250 words. Now compare that to the average typing speed. The average typing speed is somewhere around 40 words per minute. That means just physically typing a 15-minute script can already take you close to an hour. And with distractions in between even longer, you may be spending 3 to 4 hours, which happens with me all the time. And that is exactly why creators turn to AI. It's a no-brainer. So the lazy method is very simple. You open your favorite AI tool, you paste your outline into it, and then you say something like, write me a YouTube script based on this outline for a 15-minute video. And the output comes back almost immediately, right? In fact, that's part of the trap. The script is often technically competent. The problem is that it is not you. It sounds like a person trying very hard to sound profound. It sounds like a slightly pretentious TEDx speaker in a local high school auditorium, if you know what I mean. It uses vocabulary which people just do not use in actual speech. They don't use it in their vernacular. See what I did there? It over-dramatizes the simplest of ideas as if you're trying to say something profound. And viewers can feel that something is off. Even if they cannot fully explain what it is, that feeling matters a lot. Because on YouTube, people just do not watch for information. They watch for the person delivering it. I have a specific video about that, so go check that out. And if the delivery starts to feel synthetic or polished in a wrong way, or just weirdly generic, trust starts leaking out of the video. Let me show you exactly what I mean. I recently made a video about media value and why it matters in brand partnerships. So imagine I take the outline, open a fresh chat, and prompt something like, write me a YouTube video script based on this outline for a video running 15 minutes or something like that. Now listen to a typical kind of output AI gives. In this example, AI is trying to define the term media value and put it into a prompter-ready script. So here we go. You ready? Let's start with the core idea. When a brand works with a creator, whether that is a sponsorship, an integration, a dedicated video, or a placement, the brand is not primarily buying your labor. They're not paying you because your camera was expensive. They're not paying you because editing took 3 days. They're not paying you because your team worked hard. They're paying for access. Access to an audience, access to attention, access to trust, access to influence, access to success, access to authority. That is what media value is. Yeah. Now, you can immediately spot what's wrong with that, am I right? It feels as if I'm trying to get an applause for an audience at the end of every sentence. First, the constant repetition is not natural speech. It's imitating the dramatic moments of a TED Talk. It's trying to sound performative. And if the whole script is written like this, it becomes exhausting and cringe very quickly. Second, it starts adding words that sound important but are not actually doing any useful work there. In this example, the words success and authority were inserted even though they were not necessary to define the point being made. They sound like buzzwords that got pulled from nearby concepts, you know what I mean? That is something AI does all the time. It senses general neighborhood your topic lands in and starts decorating your script with ideas from that same neighborhood that just simply sound clever. Decorative filler words with no actual use. So here's another example from a script about the decline of written blogs in the age of AI, right? So the AI writes the following. The blog was not just a format, it was an incentive structure. It was a reason for people to produce useful, searchable, well-organized knowledge. Now yes, the underlying meaning is understandable, but who actually uses phrases like incentive structure, you know what I mean? That is exactly the kind of phrase that makes the script sound technical but unnatural. As a matter of fact, although I have trained my chat extensively and it does this less frequently, while I was writing the script for this video, AI wrote something like this, which I omitted from my script entirely, but just let me give it to you. Apparently, AI often writes in a way that is semantically coherent but orally wrong. That sounds cool, right? Wow. Doesn't it? Well, it's a trap. Unless I'm writing an academic paper or a technical blog post, this just doesn't work. For the spoken word format, this type of terminology simply does not land. I mean, semantically coherent but orally wrong. What the hell does that even mean? I mean, I know what it means, but come on. This is because AI knows how text works. It knows how text should look. It does not automatically know how you should sound. So if you just ask it to write the whole thing from your outline, what you often get is a script that is readable but just not speakable. And one other problem with unspeakable scripts is that you start fumbling quite often while you're trying to read it off a prompter because it's not a natural sentence. So what is a better method? The trick is in understanding that AI is a tool, it's your assistant. You do not want AI to replace your thinking. You want it to accelerate your thinking after you have already done most of the human part. Delegating the whole process to AI is a delusion. At least it is right now. Let's break the whole scripting process into stages to analyze things better and identify where to use AI in that capacity. The first phase is ideation. Identify the topic, the pain point, and the payoff for the viewer. You may use AI to give you some ideas, but you need to feed it enough human-written information beforehand to get any good results. And you also need to sift through all these suggestions to find the ideas that you think can actually work. The second phase is development. Brainstorm and research, and maybe tell a story, share a statistic, and so forth. You can again use AI extensively, especially using it as a search engine and a research assistant. I mean, in academia, this role is filled by research professionals or poor old grad students, but there's still someone leading research. The third phase is grouping or clustering. Start organizing those raw ideas into categories that may become the main sections of your video. I prefer to do this by myself, but you may again feed AI a very rough outline and a 2-paragraph idea and ask for suggestions for the categorization of the material in there. And the fourth phase is outlining. I mean, this is very important. Just write everything down in bullet points. in your own natural manner. I mean, like you would take notes in a class, you know? It can be messy. It can be really rough and riddled with typos and even with made-up words that only you understand. That is completely fine. I especially refrain from using AI at this stage though, because this is where my authenticity actually leaves its footprints, onto which AI will build during the scripting process, and I'm gonna get to that in a moment. AI is actually very good at understanding incomplete, rough human notes if the underlying thinking is clear enough. What you do not want to do is reach this point and immediately say, "Now, machine, invent my whole voice for me." If your outline is the skeleton of your thinking, your final script should grow from that skeleton. It should not be replaced by a generic body from the model. So, training the AI. This is very important. You just cannot skip this part. It is perhaps the most important part of the whole workflow. You need to train the AI first. If you want better scripts, you need to teach AI what a good script sounds like. Simple as that. Now, within the next section of this video, I will run you through the exact methodology that I've followed. It has worked for me, and I know it will work for you. I will share the exact prompts that I've engineered through multiple iterations, and I will put every prompt into a community post, the link of which you will find also within the description, for you to directly copy and paste into your own training session. Also, if you made it this far, it's a good time to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Now, first things first, if you don't already have a dedicated project for your YouTube channel within your favorite LLM, create one right now. What I mean by project is the chat grouping feature currently available in ChatGPT and Claude. Then start a new chat within the project. We will keep this chat specifically for teaching the model how your scripts should feel. Do not use that chat to generate final video scripts. We'll use it to refine the methodology itself. We have to start by establishing a baseline through feeding AI the real evidence of your own voice. Prepare video transcripts of your previous videos where you sound like you, at your best. If your channel is brand new and you don't have transcripts like that available, prepare some manually written scripts that are as close to how you would genuinely speak. Like, actually sit down and write it out. It could even be recordings of yourself speaking and then you later get it transcribed. The aim is to have a documented evidence of your natural speaking rhythm and choice of vocabulary. Very important. Next, we need to prime this chat to accept training in the direction that we want it to be trained. Paste these scripts and transcripts you prepared beforehand into the chat along with the following prompt. What I like about this prompt is that it lets the system study your material first, and then it spits back an analysis, and when you read that analysis back, you'll actually often learn something useful about your own mannerisms too. Once the AI has seen enough of your previous work, then you start shaping its behavior more deliberately. We first need to address the default habit of AI trying to sloganize everything. Not every statement needs to be a declaration, you know what I mean? We need to get rid of the repetitive, pretentious, overly dramatic TED Talk sentences. That alone improves the results a lot. It doesn't completely remove the cringe, but I'd say it reduces it by 90%. You still have, sometimes you come across little artifacts. Then you add the second instruction, which is not just about avoiding bad AI style, but about preserving your own style. Remember how in our very first prompt we asked AI to analyze our previous scripts? Prompt the following. We will now refer to that analysis within this prompt since there's already a proven example of what's preferable. Then there's a third instruction which is extremely important and very practical. Treat the outline as a structural backbone, not a loose suggestion. AI simply loves to simplify away the exact things that make a video good. It will preserve the big headings, but quietly drop the details such as the anecdotes, the stories, and the references that you sprinkle across your outline. In other words, it keeps the skeleton but throws away the muscle. So you need to tell it directly to carry these into the script. Make sure AI doesn't over-summarize things at the expense of the details, and that it doesn't fill the script with generic filler material. And finally, I like adding one more default instruction. AI should create an executive summary of the script that it generates. It's to give you the direct reference points to audit the material before you do a deep dive into the generated script. And it's not just for convenience, but also forces AI to think more structurally before it dumps a wall of text on you. Now, after you've done all that groundwork, you open a new chat for a specific video that you want to make. Not in a training chat though. You need to open a fresh chat for the specific video and leave the scripting video alone. And when you brief it, keep the structure very clear. First, give it the video title. It does not need to be the YouTube perfect title yet. It just needs to tell the system what kind of script it is that it's helping you build. Secondly, give it an estimated runtime. Tell it whether it's 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. Third, explain the video structure that you want. I want an intro with a strong hook and a clear value proposition, a development section where the problem is expanded and tension is built, then a short summary, and then a brief outro. Something like that, you know? Fourth, write a synopsis yourself, not AI. You. One paragraph in your own words explaining the topic, what the video is really about, and what you want it to do. That synopsis matters more than people realize because it contains your intent in compressed form. And fifth, paste the entire outline that you have developed into that chat. That is the workflow. That is as simple as it gets. So to simplify all of this into one sentence, do your own thinking first. Teach AI how you sound, and only then ask it to help you turn your outline into a script. And with that, I'll leave it there. If you enjoy these kinds of tips and tricks of the trade, there's plenty more coming, both for people in front of the camera and for people working behind the scenes. So like and subscribe for more content like this. And thank you for watching. Until next time.